Okay, so just finished having Extreme Rules, or as it's referred to now, WrestleMania Redo. Because they tend to see lots of matches that tend to be essentially repeats of what you saw in WrestleMania. So Jericho took on Fandango again. This match was better than the match at WrestleMania, primarily because Fandango has a lot more in-ring experience at the E stage, so it works out fairly well. And this time, Jericho got the victory. This is one of Jericho's very few pay-per-view victories out of the 2 times he's come back. So all that means is he's probably going to lose to Fandango in probably some sort of like loser leaves town sort of match. In the first match with the Shield trying to go after all the gold, Dean Ambrose took on Kofi Kingston. Nice match, great back and forth, and you have a new U.S. champion in Dean Ambrose. Nice match, good competitive. It worked. It worked very well. It does seem sad that Kofi gets to become a transitional champion. The interesting thing is, currently, if you hold a mid-card title, you tend to lose lots of matches. So it'll be interesting to see if Dean Ambrose gets booked super weak for the next couple of weeks. In the Sheamus Mark Henry match, this one, both guys were kind of petering through in the overall direction coming off this match. And Sheamus gets the victory in the strap match. Nice match, it was pretty decent. I was hoping for a level of brutality that would have matched the beat him like you stole something moment that Mark Henry had when he was just wailing the absolute Jesus out of Sheamus. Didn't quite get this, probably because the strap being bigger, you get more of a loud slap, because I'm as much of that direct impact as you do with an actual belt. So Sheamus won that one. In a match that's kind of disappointing because it could have had Ziggler and a ladder involved, Del Rio and Swagger had a really solid match. These 2 guys actually had some decent chemistry, with Del Rio making Swagger say, "I quit." So I guess now Swagger's dropping out of the main event title hunt for a little while, which kind of makes sense because he had a lot of heat going into WrestleMania, and he was definitely booked to win it, but he decided to look at his clock and say that it was 4:20 and then had an issue. The 2 remaining members of the Shield, Rollins and Reigns, took on Team Hell No. Nice competitive match, good back and forth. But at the end of the day, the Shield is now one of the most dominant stables, holding 3 titles. Both tag belts, yes, I count them as 2 individual titles, as well as the U.S. Championship. That's a pretty impressive looking stable right there. Now, if you call it main event, you would have noticed that the Shield's kind of been having a feud with the Usos. So it seems pretty interesting that you can now take the team of Team Hell No, they can have their return match, they can lose, break up, go their separate ways, and then at the exact same time, you can then now actually have the Usos do something in the tag division. I know it'd be crazy. A really fantastic team that had lots of momentum when they came in, that they've done nothing with, might actually have a decent feud with somebody, which will put them on a TV show beyond main event and hopefully not in a handicap match. Orton took on Show in an Extreme Rules match. Okay. Orton, good job, nice amount of brutality, and beat Show with the punt. Good thing to see him use that in his own hometown of St. Louis. The crowd, you can tell, is kind of falling in and out of the match, but good moves by Randy, got the crowd back into it. Nice punt, good way to seal it. So we had a last man standing match for the WWE Championship between Cena and Ryback. And what's more extreme than a last man standing match? Well, I think the last time John Cena had one of these, I think he duct taped Batista's legs together around the ring post and kind of won by WTF. This time, they were both down. And that kind of led to a draw, which I didn't think you could have a draw in this sort of match. Normally they do the count to 10 and one person gets up at like 8, kind of peters, isn't quite fully there, and the other person stands up like at 10 and happens to build nice round. This one was a draw. Okay. So I guess John doesn't lose clean even though he's got a severe injury. He instead gets a match via draw. I don't know. And the main event was Lesnar Triple H. Yes, even though Triple H has gone on record as saying the main event match should always be for the title, he actually ended up being the main event. Happens. Nice match, brutal. Like the previous 3 encounters, this is a slow, brutal match that Lesnar couldn't win by himself. So it essentially, your end came down to Triple H had hid a sledgehammer in the ring post. Lesnar missed a move earlier, had a knee injury, so H is working on the knee. Lesnar was working on H just wherever he can get a hold of him at. And then Heyman gets in the ring. Heyman gives enough of a distraction to kind of slow down Triple H a little bit. Heyman, low blow, sledgehammer, second F5, 3 count. So it seemed kind of odd that, Lesnar did a great job in the first match with Triple H, where he just was dominant and he got a really good victory. The match at Mania, a lot more back and forth. And this time he can't defeat Triple H clean. All in all, decent pay-per-view, a lot better than people thought it was going to be. Would it have been awesome to have seen Ziggler defend his title in a triple threat ladder match with 3 people who've all won Money in the Banks, who know how to work a ladder? Yes. That would have been a fantastic match to have watched. But someone took a real-life punt, knocked him out of the match. All in all, glad to see that the Shield walked out with all the gold. Interesting to see what they do with them for the next couple of months.